This is KGW News at Sunrise.
The culture of Measure 110 has created regarding drug use is live and let live. But for Keaton and many others, Measure 110 meant live and die.
That woman is talking about her son, who died from a fentanyl overdose. Since his death, she's worked to keep others from falling victim to the opioid crisis, but she says Oregon Measure 110 is not helping. We're going to hear from people for and against changing this law, coming up in one of our top stories. Also this morning, there's a new bill in Washington that could soon require police dogs be trained in detecting fentanyl. We're going to hear from a local officer who explains why this training is absolutely needed.
And Portland's shelter program is getting a new director. We'll hear more about her plans to get more people into permanent housing. That is coming up in just about 2 minutes.
Quick check of the calendar tells us it is a Thursday morning here on the Sunrise Show. Chris is on board to give you the traffic update, but I'm looking at this guy for some words on the weather.
Chris walked in, he saw the weather computer, the monitor that we display, and it shows the satellite picture. He's like, well, that's the same, that's look forever, basically.
So, you've been talking all week how it's been kind of an easy
chill week for you.
Another day, exactly like what we've been seeing. We'll start with Doppler radar this morning. Scattered showers have been drifting in from the northwest, mostly up around Astoria. It's been wet. We've had a few scattered showers come through Portland. It's mostly light stuffs. Temperatures running slightly cooler in many locations than we have been seeing, but still well above freezing. We're at 40 out at the airport right now. And here's your day. Once again, a few scattered showers. Total rain amounts in your rain gauge will be very limited. We'll see a lot of dry time. We'll open up some sun breaks, 47 to noon. We probably hit 50 again for a high. Yesterday, we made it to 52. Did I mention winds continue to be light? Here is Chris.
Well, that's good news. Let's pick you up on the south side of town, I-5 near Carmen Drive. The traffic rolling right along. No major issues on that side of town. Interstate 84, the Banfield, rolling out of the Hollywood district here. There's your westbound commute right there, and that looks pretty good as well. We'll take you up to the St. John's Bridge real quick. It looks like ODOT's pulling their trucks off the bridge right now. Right on schedule, right? The St. John's Bridge, of course, has been closing every night this week from 10 p.m. until 5 a.m. For biennial bridge inspection. It looks like that has just reopened. I do have one traffic incident to report here. Northeast Lombard and 82nd. We're getting word of a crash there. Otherwise, the freeway drive is in pretty good shape this morning, guys.
Okay, thank you, Chris. The Multnomah County Sheriff's Office needs your help finding this missing 15-year-old. Take a look at your screen. His name is Aiden Mills. His mother reported him missing Tuesday night after she says he left home on Northwest McNamee Road. The Sheriff's Office says someone matching his description was spotted near Northwest Cornelius Pass around 8:30 last night, but deputies couldn't find him. His mom says he could be hitchhiking. Aiden is just over 6 feet tall and was last seen wearing all black with a red backpack. Call the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office if you see him.
School is canceled for the rest of the week for students in the Independence and Monmouth area because of what may have been a cyber attack. The Central School District that covers that part of Oregon put out an alert to parents yesterday saying there was unusual activity on their computer network. The district also said they contacted authorities and are working with cybersecurity experts to figure out exactly what happened. There's no word yet if any data or personal information was compromised.
Oregonians are split over Measure 110 and the efforts that are trying to roll back the law that essentially legalized small amounts of hard drugs.
Along those lines, last night, state lawmakers listened to public testimony, hearing from people both for and against the idea of changing the law. KGW's Catherine Cook brings us more from Salem.
At Oregon's state capitol, it was standing room only in hearing room A.
This may be the worst impact of Measure 110.
Most here ready to criticize or praise the impacts of Measure 110. Under the measure, possession of small amounts of drugs became a Class E violation, basically a $100 ticket that could be waived if the violator contacts a substance use helpline. Some say the law should stay as is.
These bills would reverse course on Oregonians' bold, compassionate decision to provide health care to people struggling with addiction, rather than responding with arrest and incarceration.
On Wednesday, the Joint Committee on Addiction and Community Safety Response heard public testimony on 3 bills designed to change Measure 110. There's House Bill 4036 and Senate Bill 1555. Both Republican-led efforts. They would bump possession of a controlled substance up to a Class A misdemeanor, punishable by up to a year in prison, a $6,250 fine, or both. There's also House Bill 4002, a Democratic-led effort. It would make possession of a controlled substance a Class C misdemeanor, a crime punishable by up to 30 days in jail, a $1,250 fine, or both.
The culture Measure 110 has created regarding drug use is live and let live. But for Keaton and many others, Measure 110 meant live and die.
Michelle Stroh's son Keaton died of a fentanyl overdose in 2020. Since then, she's been working to combat the opioid crisis and believes Measure 110 only made things worse.
We are showing the next generation of children that illicit drugs are normal and accepted, and they should never be seen that way, ever.
How did we get here?
Nathan Vasquez is a deputy district attorney in Multnomah County. He believes the efforts behind Measure 110 need to evolve.
To be clear, I'm a firm believer in treatment, and absolutely we need to have that, but we need to have accountability as well. And there is absolutely a place for the criminal justice system and public safety to be involved in this and to connect people to treatment.
Others in favor of Measure 110 say different approaches are helping combat street-level drug use.
We're seeing really good results.
Tara Hurst is executive director for Health Justice Recovery Alliance. She opposes all three bills and believes at its core, Measure 110 has the potential to do much more with the right resources.
How many more years do you think it'll take before it works the way you see it working?
I think it depends on if you have true leadership wanting to invest long-term into services. This is about services. This is about access to care.
Catherine Cook, KGW News.
Meantime, a new bill in Washington could soon require police dogs be trained to sniff out fentanyl. Under current state law, police dogs are only required to be trained to find cocaine, heroin, and meth. Last week, the House unanimously passed a bill that would add fentanyl to the list.
Every little bite, if you will, that we take out of that pie, we know that we're saving lives, we're saving families.
If the bill becomes law by December 1st, officials will have to develop standards for training and certifying police dogs to detect fentanyl.
The city of Portland has a new person leading its shelter programs. Her name is Brandy Westerman. Her official title is the Director of Emergency Humanitarian Operations. Westerman is a former executive at Mercy Corps. That's the international humanitarian organization that's headquartered right here in Portland. She says she spent the past 4 months learning how Portland responds to homelessness and how the city can improve that response.
And I found myself, a year ago or so, realizing that the humanitarian crisis that we're experiencing right here in the city wasn't getting better. And in fact, we're seeing it get worse with people dying on our streets every day. And that was compelling to me to take the learning and the experiences that I've had working internationally and try to apply some of those here at home.
Westerman says the city is working to add more than 200 shelter beds by expanding 2 of its existing safe rest villages and also building a brand new shelter site in North Portland.
And this morning we are highlighting a local business. You can see some people getting ready to work out. They're cleaning the mirrors there. Our Eric Patterson behind the camera out at Happy Valley's Star Cycle. It's a spot all about cycling. 2 local women actually started up this business more than a decade ago, and now they've got locations in 5 states, including Oregon and Washington. We're going to keep checking in with them. I'm sure we'll see them as they're working out. Maybe we'll get inspired here in the studio.
Yeah, you might be pushing it now.
I mean, yeah, we'll see. But I know, Drew, you've been out there before, 7 years ago?
Yeah, well, to this location, I feel like I covered Star Cycle a decade ago when they first started up here in the Portland area. So yeah, you mentioned 2 local women started the whole deal. Then they put out these franchise opportunities. So I know that Happy Valley location is also owned by 2 local women. It really is a good small business success story throughout the area.
Yeah. It makes me realize, I applaud the people that can get up and work out early in the morning, but my speed is more when we have the live shots in the coffee houses and the bakery.
Honestly, on Saturday and Sunday when we're not waking up at 3 a.m.
Yes.
Are you even considering doing anything before 7 or 8?
No. Well, in the summer I may be up early for a tea time, but that's about it. Here's a look at our temperatures out there. This is nationwide, so nobody's really cold, right? 31 in Billings, Early in the morning, it was not cold. Look at Chicago, 46 degrees. So a nice, pleasant absence of what I would call cold weather across the country. And if you are traveling, maybe getting ready to go to PDX this morning, the only organized rain area is this system up around Minneapolis. That's it. Everybody else is mainly weather free. It's just scattered showers that will have little to zero consequence down in Southern California. I did take some time looking at the rivers this morning, and they're generally all back below their flood stages, so that's good news, as they do have a dry weekend forecast ahead of them with these frivolous showers eventually just ending. This band of clouds is a weakening front that times out to come in Sunday overnight to us. We'll bring a little bit of rain, but not much. Out here, this kind of circular area is a warm front. This is a push of deeper moisture that will spill in on a northwesterly flow pattern aloft overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. It should bring us some increasing rain. But still, looking out as a forecaster well through next week, no big strong weather systems appear. We have scattered showers. It's mostly, well, kind of light to moderate showers up around Astoria. We've had a little bit of rain drift through Portland in the last hour or so. We're at 40 here in town, 38 in Kelso. Pretty comfortable weather, although generally running a little bit cooler than we have been the last couple of mornings. 41 in Salem, 30 in Bend, freezing for you folks. The same in John Day, 27 out in Burns. This is another day like we have been seeing. 8 o'clock this morning. In green, pardon me, Futurecast showing some scattered showers. I think we'll open up some sun breaks again. Winds continue to be light from the west, although in Hood River, the west wind's expected to pick up a little bit this afternoon. Pretty quiet weather this evening as well. So most of us are going to get anywhere from a trace to maybe 5/100ths of an inch of total rain with passing showers today. This shows rain potential overnight through noon tomorrow. 1/4 of an inch or so in the valley, but let me tell you, there's mounting information coming in that says that we will not get that much rain. So tomorrow morning's rain might turn out to be just some passing showers as well. I'm not sure if that's going to be hours of steady rain or not. It's looking like it's weakening. Upper 40s to about 50 for a high today. Salem 49. Winds in the valley light from the west. Battleground 50, Vancouver 50. Portland made it to 52. We've hit 50 or better every single day so far this month. Now the normal high for today's date is in fact 50 degrees. We'll be right there today. Tomorrow AM rain, but is it far less than what I would have been thinking? Maybe. And then a dry Saturday. This is a bit of a change. A dry Sunday morning. Developing showers Sunday afternoon. I'm not sure if that's early afternoon or not until later in the day. There is some likely rain Sunday night into Monday. And then just kind of a quiet weather pattern continues into next week. That is your forecast.
Okay, looking good. Thank you so much, Rob.